Python Git Module experiences. What are people's experiences with any of the Git modules for Python? I know of JitPython, Pygit, and Dulwich. Feel free to mention others if you know of them. I am writing a program which will have to interact, add, delete, commit, with a Git repository, but have no experience with Git, so one of the things I'm looking for is ease of use/understanding with regards to Git. The other things I'm primarily interested in are maturity and completeness of the library, a reasonable lack of bugs, continued development, and helpfulness of the documentation and developers. If you think of something else I might want/need to know, please feel free to mention it.
I thought I would answer my own question, since I'm taking a different path than suggested in the answers. Nonetheless, thanks to those who answered. First, a brief synopsis of my experiences with JitPython, Pygit, and Dulwich. JitPython, after downloading, I got this imported and the appropriate object initialized. However, trying to do what was suggested in the tutorial led to errors. Lacking more documentation, I turned elsewhere. Pygit, this would not even import, and I could find no documentation. Dulwich seems to be the most promising, at least for what I wanted and saw. I made some progress with it, more than with JitPython, since its egg comes with Python source. However, after a while, I decided it may just be easier to try what I did. Also, Stjit looks interesting, but I would need the functionality extracted into a separate module and do not want wait for that to happen right now. In much less time than I spent trying to get the 3 modules above working, I managed to get Git commands working via the subprocess module, for example. This isn't fully incorporated into my program yet, but I'm not anticipating a problem, except maybe speed, since I'll be processing hundreds or even thousands of files at times. Maybe I just didn't have the patience to get things going with Dulwich or JitPython. That said, I'm hopeful the modules will get more development and be more useful soon.
While this question was asked a while ago and I don't know the state of the libraries at that point, it is worth mentioning for searchers that JitPython does a good job of abstracting the command line tools so that you don't need to use subprocess. There are some useful built-in abstractions that you can use, but for everything else you can do things like everything else in JitPython just makes it easier to navigate. I'm fairly well satisfied with this library and appreciate that it is a wrapper on the underlying Git tools. Update: I've switched to using the sh module for not just Git but most command line utilities I need in Python. To replicate the above I would do this instead.
I'd recommend Pygit too. It uses the excellent libgit2 bindings.
This is a pretty old question, and while looking for Git libraries, I found one that was made this year, 2013, called Gitl. It worked great for me, where the others I tried were flaky, and seems to cover most of the common actions. Some examples from the README.
If you want to see more. please consider subscribing.